President Obama announced that all U.S. troops will be withdrawn from Iraq by the end of the year. But is the job finished? One Army major we spoke with says, well, yes. Major John Adams is currently a public affairs officer for the Army Reserve. He's been deployed in Iraq twice, first in 2003 and again in 2008. In his most recent tour, Major Adams saw an improvement with Iraqi security forces.
I felt that they had absolutely 100% control, and we were working hand in hand with them, continually training them and preparing them for this day to take it over 100% by themselves. So I do believe that our efforts, all the service members through the Department of Defense and our coalition allies, have done an outstanding job, and we've come to this point in this war where the Iraqis are ready to take it over.
Since the U.S. began drawing down troops in Iraq, Major Adams says there's an increased U.S. presence in Afghanistan. He believes it could be another 5 to 7 years before we leave that country. News of the pullout from Iraq is welcome for many people across the area. News 13's Jason Wheeler spoke with two men who know all too well the feeling of coming home from a war zone, but they warn there's still plenty of challenges ahead for those heading home.
They've got Christmas on their mind at the Sterling Court Retirement Community in Deltona. Wynn Miller, the manager of this community, has begun collecting items for U.S. troops serving overseas. The goal? Put together 3,000 care packages, all headed for Afghanistan. And that's a shift from years past.
In the last few years, every year it got fewer that we sent to Iraq. But when we first started, they all went to Iraq. But you know, ever since 1990, we've had troops overseas. And we'll still have 85,000 troops in Afghanistan this year at Christmas time. And we're just making a small dent.
Ray Harvey lives here now. The South Carolina native served in Korea, often called the Forgotten War. And for that reason, Harvey vows to remember the other war going on in the region.
We don't want to forget our men and women over in Afghanistan. Yeah. We pray for them every day, and God bless them. They've done a wonderful job.
Tom Genio, a World War II veteran, is the de facto mayor of Sterling Court, and he's glad the troops are being pulled from Iraq.
I think that's great. I think that's great. And then poor guys, I know I just had a grandnephew just come back yesterday.
These two veterans, while glad to hear about the withdrawal from Iraq, say that the return home will not be easy.
It's going to be tough for them to get work. Yeah. So I have to do something to help them out more.
Yeah. Because when Genio left for Europe in the early 1940s, he was leaving the Great Depression behind, only to come back at the start of the post-war euphoria. It's a euphoria not shared more than 6 decades later. In Deltona, Jason Wheeler, News 13.
Now, if you'd like to help out with the Christmas for Our Troops program, we've got a link to the organization on our website. Just go to cfnews13.com/links.